Hi students, how are you? Welcome to the Biological Science Revision Session classes. My name is Priyamvada, working as a Biological CRT in KGTV, Gangavar. In this revision session, let us have a brief discussion on transportation. Transportation is a third chapter in our textbook. Here, children, what is the meaning of transportation? Transportation means traveling of transfer of things or materials from one place to another place. From one place to another place. What is transportation? Transfer of materials, transfer of things from one place to transfer of substances from one place to another place by the person or by the vehicle or goods called transportation. It is a general definition for transportation. Coming to in our subject, where transportation is also occur in our body also. Transportation occur in our body also. Where the transportation is occur in our body is we need the transportation process. Which organ performs the transportation in our body? Let us discuss on this, children. Coming to here, all the organisms needs nutrients, gases, liquids, etc. for survival. For survival. Without nutrients, we can't live, right? Without nutrients, we can't live. So, without gases and liquids also, we can't live. So, we need these nutrients, gases, liquids, like substances for survival of the organism. Not only for survival of the organism and also for the growth of the organism. For growth of the organism and also the mechanisms, those which are, there are numerous mechanisms are occur in our body. For carry out the mechanisms, these nutrients are required. These nutrients are required. Children, whatever the organisms it may be, unicellular organisms or multicellular organisms, could transport the substances which are taken to the body, could transport to all parts of the body which are present in the organisms. Here, coming to unicellular organisms, what is unicellular organisms? Unicellular organisms are the organisms which are made with a single cell. Unicellular organisms are the organisms which made with a single cell. Those organisms are called unicellular organisms. Can you please give the example for these unicellular organisms? Yes, nothing but amoeba, paramecium, hydra, etc. These are all called unicellular organisms. Coming to multicellular organisms, what is the definition of multicellular organisms? Multicellular organisms are the organisms made with more than one cell. More than one cell. Those organisms are called multicellular organisms. Here, in unicellular organisms, the organisms which made with a single cell, so there is no need to transport these substances to longer distance. Why? Because these unicellular organisms are very minute, very minute. It contains a only single cell. It contains a single cell. In this organism, for transportation, diffusion and osmosis performs the, through this diffusion and osmosis, these unicellular organisms performs the activity transportation. But it is not possible. In multicellular organisms. Here, diffusion means what? Diffusion means transfer of materials, transfer of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. Diffusion means transfer of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration is called diffusion. Then what is osmosis here? Osmosis means transfer of water molecules from lower concentrated solution to higher concentrated solution. Transfer of water molecules from lower concentrated solution to higher concentrated solution called osmosis. But this osmosis and diffusion could not possible in our body, could not possible in multicellular organisms. Why it is not possible in multicellular organisms like humans? Why? Because humans are multicellular organisms which made with trillions of cells. We contain huge body. We contain huge body. We have trillions of cells to, and these substances should transport to longer distance, and each and every cell which are present in our body, each and the nutrient should the nutrients which we uptake, it should transport to each and every each and every cell which are present in our body. So with this diffusion of the osmosis, it would take some years. To avoid this delay, a separate system is needed for transportation for us. So there is a separate system in the enlarged organisms like multicellular organisms. There is a system called circulatory system. Okay, let us discuss on this circulatory system. Children, whenever you go to hospital for medical checkup, have you ever observed doctor holds the wrist of the patient and looking at his watch for a minute? Can you think why doctor did like that? Why doctor holds the wrist of the patient? What he want to find out from the holding the wrist and his watch. Come on children, guess. Yes, doctor is counting the heartbeat of the patient. Children, you could try to find out yourself what doctor was do there. For this, actually children, this activity was done in our classrooms. But it is the time to do again. Okay, come on children. Take your hands and take your index finger and middle finger. Keep it on your wrist. Which is present below the thumb. You keep it on here. Keep it on the wrist which is present in below the thumb. Okay, observe carefully. What will happen in there? Something is pushing your fingers rhythmically. Okay children, now count the number of rhythms in a minute. The number of sounds in a minute. It is nothing but a pulse rate. Here the pulse rate is, and okay children, now stand up and do a running at the same place, or do the jog at the same place. Now again take the reading. Is there any difference between the before reading and the present reading? Yes. Here the pulse rate is not constant. It varies from person to person and situation to situation. The pulse rate varies from situation to situation and person to person. It is not constant. When we are afraid, when we get excited, the pulse rate raises up. So it is not a constant. So doctor checks here children, there is a relationship between the pulse rate and the heartbeat. Here, whenever we go to hospital, doctor checks our counting of the heartbeat with an instrument called stethoscope. This stethoscope is discovered by one of the familiar scientists, René Laennec. Who is the scientist? René Laennec is the scientist who discovered the stethoscope. This instrument is used to count the heartbeat, in the year 1816. 1816. Okay, this is about the transportation introduction. Children, now let us study the structure of the heart and the working of the heart. Now let us study the structure of the heart and the working of the heart, internal structure of the heart. Here, heart is a pear-shaped. Where heart is present? The heart is present in between the lungs. In between the lungs, and the heart gives what sound? Lub dub sound. Lub dub. This beat keeps us alive. This beat keeps us alive. The heart is present in between the lungs. In between the lungs, and the heart is protected by a rib cage. And the heart is protected by a rib cage. Approximate the size of the heart is the size of your heart is approximately the size of your fist. The size of your fist. And coming to the structure of the heart, coming to the internal structure of the heart is a pear-shaped structure. The heart is a pear-shaped structure, and it looks like a triangle and outline. Here it is the anterior part and it is the posterior part of the heart. See, the anterior part is wider. The anterior part is wider, somewhat wider when compared with the posterior part of the heart. Posterior part of the heart. Here the heart is covered by two-layer membrane. Heart is covered with a two-layer membrane called pericardial membrane. Pericardial membrane. The membrane is filled with a fluid. The heart is covered by two-layer membrane. These membranes are filled with a fluid called pericardial fluid. It is an important bit for us children. The heart is covered with how many layers? Two layers. How many layers? Two layers of membrane. That membrane is called pericardial membrane. Heart is covered with a pericardial membrane. Pericardial membrane. This pericardial membrane is filled with a fluid. Called pericardial fluid. Is filled with a fluid called pericardial fluid. This pericardial fluid protects the heart from jerks, from the shocks. This pericardial fluid protects the heart from shocks and jerks. Next, coming to the here, heart is mainly divided into four parts. Heart is mainly divided into four parts externally by grooves. The upper parts are called arteries or atria. The lower parts are called ventricles. Heart is divided by grooves. How many grooves? Four grooves. The upper two parts are called arteries or auricles. The lower parts are called ventricles. Auricles and ventricles. Here, if heart wants to work, it also needs blood, no? This blood is supplied by a vessels called coronary vessels. Coronary blood vessels supplies the blood to the heart for the functioning of the heart. Coming to the walls of the heart. Here, basically the heart is divided into four chambers. The upper two chambers are called arteries. The lower two chambers are called ventricles. The two chambers are present at the right side. Similarly, two chambers are present at the left side. The upper chamber in the right side, the upper chamber is called right auricle. The lower chamber is called right ventricle. Similarly, in left side, the upper chamber is called left auricle. The lower chamber is called left ventricle. The upper chamber is called auricles. The lower chambers are called ventricles. Similarly, the upper chamber which is present in the right side is called right auricle and right ventricle. Left auricle and left ventricle. Here, the walls of the ventricles are thicker. The walls of the ventricles are thicker when compared to the walls of the auricles. Walls of the auricles. Why? Because ventricles need a strength to push the blood to entire parts of the organs, entire parts of the organ. So the walls of the ventricles are thicker when compared with the walls of the auricles. Walls of the auricles. Okay, children. Now there is a major blood vessels. See here. Here it is a major blood vessels which origin on the heart. Which origin on the heart is called arteries. The major blood vessels which originated from the heart is called arteries. Here there is a larger artery is called aorta. Larger artery is called aorta. This aorta this aorta originates from the left ventricle and carries blood to entire part of the body. Entire part of the body. That's why this aorta is called larger artery. Larger artery of the body. Larger artery of the body. Next, coming to larger artery of the body. Next, there is the larger artery is called aorta. The larger artery is called aorta. Next, coming to the smaller artery is pulmonary artery. The smaller artery is pulmonary artery which carries blood to lungs. Which carries blood to the lungs. Next, coming to the small rigid vessels. Coming to the less rigid vessels are called veins. Less rigid vessels are called veins. Here, veins carries blood from all parts of the body. Veins brings blood from all parts of the body and send it to heart. From there is a superior vena cava. The vein which is coming from posterior part of the heart. The vein which is coming from posterior part of the heart. The vein which is coming from anterior part of the heart is called superior vena cava. Superior vena cava. The vein which is coming from the heart at posterior end is called inferior vena cava. Is called inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava at anterior end, inferior vena cava at posterior end. This superior vena cava brings the blood from anterior parts of the body, that is head and neck. This superior vena cava brings blood from the anterior part of our body, that is head and neck. Next, coming to inferior vena cava which is present in the posterior end, it brings blood from the posterior parts of the body, that is hands and legs. Hands and legs called inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava. Next, there is here the upper two arteries and the below two ventricles. Upper two arteries and the ventricles are separated each other by a muscular particles called septum. Separated each other by a muscular particles called septum. Here, this septum is the opening between the aura and ventricles portions called septum. Here, the opening between the auricles and ventricles. The opening between the auricles and ventricles is controlled by a guard cells called valves. Controlled by guard cells called valves. The transfer of blood from arteries and veins. The arteries and ventricles. Arteries and ventricles are controlled by guard cells called valves. Next, here the valves here in the right side there is a valve between the right auricle and right ventricle. The valve which is present in between the right auricle and the right ventricle is called right atrioventricular valve. Nothing but tricuspid valve. The valves which are present in between the right auricle and the right ventricle is called right atrioventricular valve, also called tricuspid valve. And coming to the left side, the valves which are present in between the left atrium and left ventricle. left atrium and left ventricle is called left atrioventricular valve, left atrioventricular valve, and also called bicuspid valve, This tricuspid valve is also called mitral valve. It also called mitral valve. So there are here the right side tricuspid valves are present, in left side bicuspid valves are present. Right side tricuspid valves are present, left side bicuspid valves are present. Here the major blood vessels which arises from the left ventricle is called pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery contains a valve called semilunar valve. The valve which is present in the pulmonary artery is called semilunar valve. The major blood vessels which arises from the left ventricle is called systemic aorta. This systemic aorta contains a valve called systemic valve. Here children, the right atrium and the left atrium. From right atrium, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava opens and brings the blood from the lungs. Similarly, the left atrium, which contains a pulmonary artery, brings blood from lungs. Similarly, the aorta supplies the oxygenated blood to entire parts of the body, parts of the organs which is present in our body, and this aorta arises from left ventricle. Similarly, deoxygenated blood brings through the pulmonary artery, and it supplies to the blood to lungs, and it supplies blood to the lungs. Children, this is the internal structure of the heart. This is the internal structure of the heart. Always the artery supplies the oxygenated blood, veins supplies the deoxygenated blood. But there is a change in pulmonary artery and the pulmonary vein. This pulmonary artery carries oxygenated blood. This pulmonary vein carries deoxygenated blood. There is a change here. And children, this is the internal structure of the heart. Now let us move to the another topic, cardiac cycle. Here the heartbeat begins around the 21st day during the embryonic development. Here if the beating stops, we will die. Here one contraction and relaxation of the auricles and ventricles are called one cardiac cycle. One contraction and relaxation of auricles and ventricles are called cardiac cycle. Okay, let us discuss on this cardiac cycle. This pressure moves the blood to every cell in the body. Okay, now let us see what is cardiac cycle. The sequence of events in single heartbeat is known as cardiac cycle. The cycle involves the systole or contraction and diastole or relaxation of the artery and ventricles. Here children, look at this figure. In this you can find out all the chambers in heart are in relaxed state, that is joint diastole state. Okay, now you will observe here the bicuspid and tricuspid valves are open. So what will happen? Blood flow from vena cava and pulmonary veins enters the right and left atria respectively. Okay, right now arterial systole is initiated when SA nodes send out an electric signal During arterial systole, the atria undergoes continuous contraction which forcefully passes the blood into the ventricles through tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Here, ventricle systole starts when ventricles are filled with blood. The AV nodes are shown here. Gives signal. This signal to this stimulates the ventricular contraction. Then, as the ventricular contraction increases, the ventricular pressure causes the closure of AV valves. AV means auriculoventricular valves. Now, this continuous contraction causing the further increasing ventricular pressure. What will happen? Because of this, it will open the semilunar valves and the blood flows into the pulmonary artery and the aorta. Now, the AV valves, closing of AV valves here results in producing the first heartbeat called lap. Okay, now observe here the ventricles are in relaxed state now. During ventricular diastole, the ventricles relax and blood begins to flow back into the ventricles. This reveals the reversal of pressure causes the semilunar valves to shut, producing the second heartbeat, second sound dub. So now you know what produces the lub dub sound. The lub dub sound. This is about the cardiac cycle. Next, move to the next topic, single and double circulation. Single and double circulation. Here, the single and double circulation. We know that blood flows in the blood vessels. Blood flows in the blood vessels. To keep moving of the blood continuously, heart supplies the heart pumps the blood continuously to the blood pump. Continuously pumps the blood to the vessels. The heart pumps the blood to the body parts and it again reaches back to the heart But it is not similar in all organisms. It varies in organisms to organisms. Here, if blood flows through the heart, only once for completing circulation. Once for completing circulation is called single circulation. If blood flows through the heart only once for completing the circulation is called single circulation. This type of single circulation carried in fish-like organisms. Fish-like ones. Coming to double circulation. If blood flows through the heart twice for completion of circulation. If blood flows through the heart twice for completing circulatory system is called double circulation. This double circulation carried in animals and human beings, etc. This is single and double circulation. Now let us move to another topic which is present in this transportation is blood pressure. Generally we heard the word blood pressure. What is blood pressure? What is BP here? Here, to move blood through the network of vessels. A great force is required here. This force is generated by heart and its highest when ventricular contraction forgives the forcing the blood out of the heart into the arteries. Then there is a drop in the pressure. As the ventricle refill with blood for next beat. Is called blood pressure. Here blood pressure varies in our body parts. So for recording constant measure BP measures in upper arm artery. BP measures in upper arm artery. With the help of the sphygmomanometer, we can measure the blood pressure. With the help of the sphygmometer, we can measure the blood pressure. There are two pressure readings. Blood is forced out of ventricles. Called systolic pressure. It measures in normal person. In an adult, it measures 120 mm of Hg. Similarly, the ventricles, second reading. When in ventricles refill with blood in resting period called diastolic pressure. It normally measures as 80 mm of Hg. When a person, even in rest position, he had high BP. Then he has hypertension. Next, coming to the another topic, coagulation of blood. Here, whenever we injured, the blood clots in within 3 to 6 minutes. 3 to 6 minutes. How does the blood clots here? If the blood clotting does not occur, what will happen in our body? Much blood is oozed out from the wound. Here, there is an enzyme. When we injured, and when we injured, the blood oozes out. At that time, the platelets which are present in our blood activates the enzyme thrombokinase. The thrombokinase activates the another substance which are present in the blood is called prothrombin. In the presence of thrombokinase, prothrombin converts to thrombin which are in insoluble position. Here this thrombin activates the another substance which are present in the blood called fibrinogen. This fibrinogen in the presence of the thrombin converts to fibrin. This fibrin fibers blocks the oozing out of the blood from the wound. There is a fluid which is present after blood clotting is called serum. But in some people, the blood clot does not occur within 3 to 6 minutes. Those people are suffering with hemophilia. This hemophilia is a genetical disorder problem, and it also occurs with the lack of vitamin deficiency. This hemophilia seems in the children, those who are married in close relatives. This is about the coagulation of children. This is coagulation of blood children. This is about the brief discussion on the third chapter transportation lesson. And children, there is an assignment for you. Draw the picture of heart neatly and point out the parts of the heart. Okay.